Well, the best way to eat fanihi, we just cook it the way it is. We eat everything from the fur to the meat. It's something, brother, that nobody ever imagined of eating, man. It's the best. And you just cannot, explain it. So that's what makes it so special.
The fani is looked at as a delicacy, and it's part of the culture. The Chamorros eat fani as a special food, but at the same time, we need to protect the fani from elimination.
As a kid, man, you drive anywhere and you see a colony here, a colony there, and it's beautiful. When you see them flying, it's amazing. Now, you can drive a whole week around Rota, and it's fortunate if you see one flying. That's how scarce it is. But yet, they continue to pilfer. They continue to attack this poor defenseless creature, all for the craze of money.
The fact remains that people do still go out and hunt fruit bats. This is not about pointing fingers at individuals who are still hunting fani. It's about educating ourselves on the importance of the fani and why we should keep the fani existing. It's about time that people should open up.
If you look into this, you find out that the fruit bat is very much intertwined with the culture and tradition of the Chamorro people. And with them, they were born and raised with this fruit bat, the fanihi, and occasion would be able to eat them as part of their diet. Now comes westernization, modernization, rules and regulations being imposed. They consider that as a threat to their way of life, our way of life. And this is our responsibility to try to bring these two things together. The protection of the species and let alone try to adapt to the culture. And this is all that we have to protect is our culture.
We like to talk about the fanihi because the fruit bat seems to be the issue of the time. And this brings me to look at it from the perspective of our ancestors. Those days, you're titled by a community that you're a hunter. You're a respected man. They respect you. Now, the hunter is someone who is also responsible to make sure that whatever you're hunting, you should be able to keep it and have some more of that. So, I believe that somewhere along the line here, something went wrong. Nowadays, you have hunters with big guns and less fruit bat. You are a hunter because you know how to use the gun, but without the knowledge of what you're hunting. So this is the difference. They call me Guelo. Guelo is, it represents like a spirit of the past. I am very proud to be Chamorro because, we've been taught by our parents of hunting techniques and fishing techniques that we should be, using. And now there's a lot of those that we cannot practice, like our delicacy fruit bat. There's a special hunting technique that we use for catching the fanihi, the bats. We get a pakao, like a vine. It has thorns that come out. And what we do is we cut a tree like a Y shape and we wrap those around it. And we climb up the tree. Then a flying bat that goes through to go feed themselves, That's when you catch them with the pakao, That's what we use for hunting the bats.
The special thing about Rota is we're the only ones in the CNMI that still retain to a large degree, what's remaining of our culture. And subsistence living basically is the core of our culture. Chamorros were people who believe in coexisting with nature. They take from nature what they need and they don't abuse it. And it's sad that now we've come to that point where individuals in our society have commercialized what they take from nature instead of taking just what they need. And this is the dilemma with our native fruit bat.
The thinking now is not subsistence, it's more the commercial. They see that animal flying and they know that they can make $50 easy, $100, and if you're capable of eliminating the entire population, there's a temptation to do that because it translates into money and money into security.
I feel sorry for the fruit bat because if people are going to pay $200 for a fruit bat, it just don't work. This is what I can tell you. More law enforcement, punishment, it don't work. How many I'm going to catch? I catch as much as I could. In fact, that's why I got good shotgun and everything to shoot as many and then collect them and run away. It's a massacre.
They started destroying the colony and they shoot, everything. Going into the colony is just like going into somebody's bedroom. It's a breeding ground. That's where we get our source, so don't break it. Those are the bad hunters, Those are the hunters that we should watch ourselves, because they destroy. And I am encouraging, my friends involved with whatever hunting things, let's just live off it and, don't commercialize it because it's not right,
How many fruit bat we have now in the jungles? Maybe, I don't know, maybe 1,000? 2,000 at best? You think about the upcoming generation. What are you trying to do? You think the fruit bat is going to remain plenty at the rate that you people are going about it? That's why I'm encouraging the people to speak out. If you know your cousin is doing that, then go and talk to him. Hey, cuz, come on, stop it. Look at your children. What's your children going to look after? What are they going to find in the future? There has to be a social, conscientious effort. It don't take only law enforcement official, but as families, if you really care for the future of this island and the health of our ecosystem, then you would speak out instead of just being silent. What are you waiting for? Until it's totally extinct?
Everything interacts, everything affects one another somehow. So I know Fanihi is beneficial for a lot of other species other than people.
There's a direct connection between the wildlife and our ecosystem. For example, the fruit bat, through their flight around the island, they consume of fruits. A lot of times it would not consume that right on the tree. It will fly off to another location, find themselves a comfortable, cozy hanging place, and devour that morsel. But before it flies back, it will drop that seed. And not only that, they fly to certain flowers of trees and they suck the nectar out of the flowers of these trees. And that creates cross-pollination, which encourages the consistency of the quality of that species of plant life in our ecosystem.
You're actually telling us that we cannot partake in something that's commonplace, is born, it's part of our heritage. Here we are, we're locals, we're Chamorro, trying to sustain and identify ourselves first as Chamorro people. This is also part of our identity.
If you're not cooperative with the people, you never get what you want to get. Come and we scratch back, and scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, and let's find a way how to protect the thing. Don't just come and, tell us that you cannot eat it, because the people will not stop. I'll tell you the truth, brother, they'll not stop. And if you cannot give the people the way, the people are not just gonna give up that easy, man.
To say that there might exist a middle ground, it will be the lessons that we can bring back and maybe make the law somewhere in between.
It wouldn't be such a far-fetched idea to have a limited time and a limited quantity per year designated for the local cultural respect of the community.
Whatever we can do to continue the culture on a limited basis and not destroy the entire population, If we can come out with a middle ground, then that would be a better policy for the island. But at this time, where there's still people like me or one generation down who still love Fanihi, and we're still, a lot of them are still willing to pay for the Fanihi, then now is still the time to protect the animals.
I believe the fruit bat has a future, and they stand a big chance for the upcoming generations to enjoy and see them flying around and frolicking on their fruit trees around their yard. But right now, with the commercialization of it, I feel sad that the fruit bat really have a grim future. And what it boils down is appreciating what you got and knowing that we live in a small microcosm of an island. And once you bring something to extinction, that's it. Once it's gone forever.
We have so many points of view, but the effort to at least begin the dialogue is important. That's why we need all the affected people, the people who are protecting and the people who are preserving the culture. They get together and they have a dialogue, and through a good, positive exchange of ideas, instead of confrontation, I think we can get somewhere.